So we're here today with Mr. Ross Lane, and what did you do?
Hello. Yeah, so I'm here today at the OTS Championships up in the Warchest in Dublin. I came second today playing Tearlaments, Danger, with some spice.
With some spice. I love the little finger movements, very, very good.
Now, the spice may or may not have worked out. It certainly scared away someone, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, what were your matchups like?
Matchups are pretty interesting. So round one, I was up against a Dogmatica invoked deck. It was a 3-round game. It was fine. Super poly, disgusting card. It does its thing. You can play around a lot of things with your fusions. It's just ridiculous. They can't target shit. It's just bananas. Dogmatica, unfortunately, is gone.
Yeah, the deck is in the dog's dinner.
Yeah,
it's dog
sure.
dinner right now.
Anyway, so will I show you the profile?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for
Unreal
it.
stuff. So
that was round one, by the way. You just
that was round one. Yeah, that was the best round.
one.
That's all I needed. I'll tell you more in a second.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So the standard cards here we have 3 Tearlaments, 3 of everything. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah,
they're really, really great. You can't go wrong with any of them. You need to know when to time these things. What the amount of times when I was practicing with this deck, where I would send Rhino and then immediately activate his effect.
Oh yeah.
Costly
Okay.
games. You're better off waiting to mill again later on, and sometimes just waiting to see what your opponent does throughout the actual turn.
Does that not make it a bit more gambly though?
It's definitely a lot more gambly, but if you work off the Rhino or how many racers you have left in deck, you can take calculated risks.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just summoning your fusion monster and it's going to get
I don't think it's as gambly as people think, right? It's kind of.
It definitely isn't.
It's sort of maths to it, because you're putting all the stuff to the bottom of the deck if you use it anyway. So.
Exactly. But that's the tiers anyway. So next we're on the Danger package.
2 Mothman.
2 Mothman, 2 of these boys, and 3 of the Nessie. Nessie.
Okay, so you kept a pretty low sort of engine on it.
Exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. So I originally wasn't running the Mothman, but the level 4 comes up a lot.
Yeah, it does.
And then Danger Nessie being an Aqua is just ridiculous.
Yep.
So good. And the fact that they trigger off the discards as
And
well.
it's got 2800 booty as well. If
Huge
you're stuck,
booty.
you know.
Saves games. I was up against this lad in round 2, I believe, and I summoned a huge board and just hoped to God he couldn't break it.
Yeah, that lad was me, and he broke the crap out of my board.
Anyway, so that worked well. So that was the Dangers. Dangers wouldn't change them for the world. They're amazing. I don't know what's going to happen when the new format comes, when Ishizu and that kind of stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Now we have a bit of a snow package here. That's what I like to call it.
Snow package.
We have these guys. So we have Snow, we have Ghostrifter, and we have Shinobi Necro.
I'm surprised to see Shinobi Necro.
So Shinobi Necro, because what you do is you bring it back, you overlay, and you detach for cost from...
for Gigantic, is it?
Gigantic.
Okay.
And you get to bring up your Merly or whatever else, but you still get Shinobi Necro in the grave to special summon again off of Snow next turn or whatever else.
Yeah, okay.
So it works to build up your advantage and to special summon
The
again.
American
for more
Snow
stuff.
as well, it's awesome.
It's very nice.
It's gorgeous.
But yes, these are fantastic stuff. It wouldn't stop them for the world. Ghostrifter almost cost me so many games today because of the life point cost. I'm honestly thinking of dropping it, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not overly a fan, but it does help you to make Curious easy. So.
Yeah. So now we have the wee little bit of spice.
Oh!
This little package.
And you'll see these boys in the thumbnail.
Yeah, so these guys are really interesting, right? So they definitely didn't inhibit me anytime throughout the tournament. However, and I tell you this much, it's a draw 1, right? So even if you don't get it off, right? You have your Revival of the Sky God, your Slifer, and your Monster Reborn in the grave. You can banish your trap, put Monster Reborn back on top of the deck and draw it, which allows you to bring back your fusion summons, and they trigger off a special summoning half the time. Yeah. So you can actually bring back your Kikalos, get its effect, and go off again.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't say fusion summon, just a special summon.
Yeah, exactly,
awesome.
which is ridiculous. And it's really, really good. It's not just for playing off of this. Now, I only cut it off the full thing once. Yeah. That's all that mattered, right? So I brought it back. It was at 6k up against Dynamorphia, and they summoned their monsters, immediately died.
Did you ever draw that in hand and then have that in grave?
I drew it once, but then I discarded it.
Draw 6 or anything, no?
No.
Okay,
no.
fair enough.
I did draw 6.
Oh, you did draw 6?
I've drawn 6. I made my opponent draw 6 also.
Oh, no, that's
but
not good.
It didn't matter because they drew shite.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because sometimes half the time all the stuff you're starting
to have the best deck in the room in your own.
Yeah, exactly. You know? This stuff, I don't think I'll keep running it, but it was so gimmicky and beautiful. I think there's a special place in my heart for it. If I'm ever playing in the locals, I'll play it again, no problem.
Yeah, I think Danger Tier is like the perfect place for a little gimmicky thing.
Yeah, actually, speaking of this gimmick,
like the Crystal Beast one. Oh, this boy.
So I did run Spellcaster. I didn't have.
So there's a meta tier madness.
Yeah, there's a wee bit of meta. So you bring back Monster Reborn, you get to resurrect the Spellcaster for free. essentially, because you mill your deck constantly. So you bring back this and you just pass turn and they hopefully scoop if it's runic.
So for this boy, did it ever come up that you had to negate like a Mystic Mine or anything else like that?
Luckily, no mines today.
No mines today.
I expected the mine, so I built my deck to stop the mine. Never faced the mine. I expected towers, lots of towers, not one towers.
Nope.
It was just lots of interplay back and forth with Sprite.
Warchest meta is wild.
Warchest meta is wild. It was super interesting, a lot of fun, a lot of cool interactions, a lot of hard-fought games, but this never actually came up. It was just the threat of it half the time.
Cool.
Then we were on the wee little frog package here, and the idea here was to just make Gigantic an elf and to enable those plays. It's fine.
Okay.
So, and this guy absolutely busted. I'd actually honestly played him too because he gets banished all the time. Really fantastic stuff. If I was playing the sprites, I think it'd be much better, but they were just there for bodies.
Okay.
Lots of things.
Would you'd play the sprites as well if you were doing it? Would you?
I would, yeah. I
would you like do like the kind of PTSD thing or?
I love the PTSD stuff. Oh god, I love the PTSD stuff. I think the actual deck itself.
That's what it's called. That's not the.
So good. The fact that you can just start off with any of your engines and you go into it. It's amazing.
I think kitchen sink kind of decks are really good.
Yeah, I agree. Then we have your basics. You got these three guys. This guy, oh my god, if you draw this, you just win.
Yeah,
because you're summoning your fusion. You don't want to actually go into your Kick Hallows straight away when you summon this. When you play this, you go into your.
Do you go into Mud Dragon?
You go into Mud Dragon.
Ah, okay.
Because that stops your imperms and all that kind of stuff. Because you can go into your plays normally if you have it. That's pretty good. Obviously, we're on the terraforming.
Yeah.
All well and good. So now we're on the triple super polymerization. So
why are you playing this deck card?
Why?
Just to see. It's not a very good card, right?
Every single matchup, this card wrecks face. It goes up against feckin' Flaunderies, fuse away with their monsters, no problem. If they don't have the
if they don't have win barrier.
Yeah, exactly. You just attack over it, then you fuse. I actually won a few games against Flaunderies using that exact same strategy.
Sure.
It starts combos, it gets your stuff going, it breaks boards on its own. I fused away my opponent's Rhino Heart and Kick Hallows and Merly all in one go.
To make Kaleido. Oh my god. That's disgusting.
Turn 2 and I just attacked for game after that.
That's
over and over
disgusting.
Again. It was disgusting. Absolutely busted card. I suspect it's
the tier mirror is honestly vile based on what it sounds like.
Super is.
It's like
but you know what? There's a really interesting interplay back and forth because I think mirror matches are fantastic. Just think back to the zoo.
Well, zoo is just peak though. Zoo is back and forth. Yeah.
That's why it's so important to know when to trigger your tiers because in a mirror match, when you trigger them is just as important as what you're fusing with.
Okay.
Especially if you want to bring back cards later on in the game. But just remember, timing is everything when it comes to fusing. Anyway, that's
nice. Sure.
Field spell, obvious.
Good card.
Great card. Absolutely freaking amazing. The attack boost. Don't forget the fucking attack boost. It's amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And because it works on tier, it's tiers and fusions, right?
Yeah, tiers and fusions. So I had a couple of matchups where someone brought out their Mirror Jade, attacked with their Mirror Jade into my 3200 Kaleido, and I was like, cool, you take 500 or 200, and they were like, what?
No, it's 500.
Is it 500? Oh yeah, it is 500. Yeah.
It's 500.
So you just kind of set this up. And you don't say it because you expect your opponent to read your cards.
Yeah, they're supposed to read your cards. You're not trying to trick them.
Things fantastic.
They need to read the cards. They need to be aware of the game state.
And then the last two cards in the main deck were
Sully, best cards.
Absolutely amazing card. You get it to mill, you get your search off. The targeting to negate is amazing.
Yeah, and it's permanent negate as well.
It's permanent negate. Yeah. It's just super freaking good. Love the card. Would run it at 11 if I could.
11. We're going to do extra deck.
Extra deck. So.
I'll let this cool where I'm at. We're playing Slifer today.
Hell yeah, Slifer. I don't have a Slifer mat, I wish I did. The extra deck is kind of standard for the most part.
Sure.
So we have the two Tearlaments here. I only play one Kick Hallows because I shuffle them back constantly.
Okay, interesting. I would be on the same philosophy for the most part, but
because the deck is
I felt like I was missing something when I was doing it. I was like, why is everybody else playing two?
It's only because you focus so much on link summoning, there's no point.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can bring it back, you can shuffle it back. There's
especially with kind of your philosophy with like this Shinobi Necros and stuff as well.
Exactly, yeah. You're constantly getting stuff back. Resource management in this deck is a lot more about your graveyard than about your actual hand.
Yeah, sure.
And then we have the standard little package here. We have your Garura, your Mud Dragon, and your Predaplant.
Yeah.
So this card, absolutely crazy good. These cards, you have to be able to recycle these three together. This is what you start with.
That's the cycle, yeah.
That's your cycle. So if you're going to be instant fusioning, this is the card you want to go into at the start. If you have your combo to start off with, this card busted. I don't know what they were smoking the day they made this card. You can attack for game.
Just like we're expecting a tier 0 format for Sprite.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let's just completely change that.
Yeah, I know, it's bananas. Oh my god, the super body.
The card's great. It does double battle damage as well.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Double battle damage comes up.
Plus
like
the
you
field
would
spell. It's like it's 4K like.
Here's something else I played today. Boom. So
This
card,
is wild.
Yeah, this card.
This was
came
summoned
up.
on me today by you, and I was like not expecting it at all.
This card comes up a lot. The fact that on summon it gains the attack, and the threat of it being destroyed causes your opponent to do some really weird roundabout plays. I love it. I keep it in my deck. I'd honestly drop the Toad stuff if I could. But yeah, I love the card. I think it's amazing.
Sure.
We play the Sprite package here.
Nice.
So I don't even need to explain this, but this card on your opponent's turn brings back the Merly.
Yep.
Mill your 3, you're laughing.
Mill 3 and pray.
Mill 3 and pray, exactly. Sometimes you can pop your own stuff with your field spell, and that allows you to.
Yeah, I've never done it, but I've seen people do it.
Yeah,
a lot,
it does work
for kit and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, I actually never summoned Toad.
Oh, okay. That's edge.
I'm actually thinking of dropping the Toad and keeping Gigantic in the spread out.
Would you think about something like Bahamas? Because you're playing level 4s.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't work with that guy. Never mind.
I'd be thinking either Cowboy or either Cowboy or what's his name? What's the stupid guy who gets stuff in the grave?
That's Dugares, yeah.
No.
Oh no, Negates and Grave?
Yeah, what's his name?
Dweller.
Dweller, thank you so much. Christ
Wait, you're not playing Dweller?
I'm not playing Dweller.
What the Okay.
It's not playing Dweller.
That's wild.
Yeah. So,
make a second.
Gotta be doing something, right? So
in the tier mirror, you played the tier mirror today.
Oh, he summoned Dweller on me and I played around it.
Around Dweller.
I set up my danger board and I set up one Tearlaments monster in there and I set one trap.
Yeah.
And I just passed, and then on his turn I flipped the trap, popped my dude, went off.
Yeah, fair. That's
And it
fair.
worked. That's what I did against you as well. I didn't. I kind of just set up my danger board and just hoped to God you couldn't break it, then fused off with it.
Yeah.
Then obviously I played, well, not obviously, Time Thief. So a lot of the builds don't run this an awful lot of time, but you can steal some crazy valuable stuff off the top of your opponent's deck.
I think it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And the banishing effect to bring back another body at the end of your turn is so relevant. Because just one more body for your link summoning for Curious is so good.
Yep.
The draw effect is great. The banishing effect, untargeting banished effect, what? So good.
Yep.
Love it. So then we play this guy with this guy.
Oh, you're on Bomber. Okay.
I am indeed on Bomber. So Bomber.
No Zero Boros, no.
No Zero Boros, only because I couldn't get it. So IP, fantastic. Drop it off. Go into Top Logic. Use your Snow. Use whatever you want, and usually even Sprite Elf, and it works. It's so good. Love it to bits. We were also on this little package here.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this in as well. So obviously we use Curious to build this guy.
Yep.
I'd used him to, because I wasn't on the Eradicator.
Yeah, you're not an Eradicator.
I'd use him to bring back.
Which is good because you can't use him for Eradicator.
Yeah, exactly.
As you know.
I'd use this to bring back the Slifer Trap.
Oh, nice.
And I set the Slifer Trap, I flip it on my opponent's
Special
turn.
and draw 6. Oh,
Draw 6, baby.
I like
it's
that actually.
So good. When I get it off, it works really well. You can consistently do it if you don't get hand trapped.
Yeah.
But I get hand trapped a lot, so
yeah. I think we're back on hand traps a small bit.
I think so too. I'm honestly thinking of. I think the right build from here on out for a little while might be double cross out.
Okay.
And running the hand traps.
Yeah, just 2 cross out.
Because
like OCG style.
And I'll show you why. Because in the side deck, you see a lot of people are running these cards. So I'll start with the 2 MVPs.
Okay.
These guys were nuts. So your opponent special summons a monster. You slap this down.
Yep.
They're on the clock. If they link off, they fusion summon whatever. They take the burn damage. The monster's effectively negated.
Yeah, and it makes it easier to kill them.
So. Yeah. The last time I saw a card like this that puts your opponent on the clock so much was Maxi.
Okay.
And I'm comparing it to that only because
which is wild because this is like super under like.
Yeah. So you get the card, you slap it down, and then you stop and you start to think, right? Because the whole point of this card is to force your opponent to go, oh fuck, there's like 5 minutes left, what do I do? And it comes up a lot. It's so dirty, I'm going to run 3. I'm thinking of dropping the slide first.
I would say run 3 if it's a hand trap as well.
It's so good. I love it to bits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so run 2 evenlies for the Mystic Mine out, for the Unbreakable Boards out, that kind of stuff. It just comes up. It's fantastic. I wouldn't trade it the world.
Nice.
I'm of the opinion 2 OBS are okay. because you're milling so much, because you're able to recover a lot of resources in this deck, I don't think it's a problem. 2 of these as a hand trap is fine.
Okay, sure.
One of the Harpies, same reason, Mystic Mind for anti-spells, that kind of stuff. It comes up sometimes.
Nice.
We're on this wee little package. Now the reason why,
So good.
the reason why is, well, I'd like to say because I saw Pat do it, but it's also because
Don't say it's not, because it's just...
so
on.
obviously the card's fucking busted. So you activate your field spell, they try to Ghost Ogre it, you just drop this down, you Foolish Burial, you do anything to try and search your deck, and they hand trap you, you just slap this down. Half the time you have just a Snow Engrave, you try to activate the effect. They
You
try
can
to
get
negate it.
shifted and then get to gamma.
Get shifted and you get. I did that once today.
You did you? Nice.
Yeah, it's so good. You can summon this off of your Gigantic as well.
Yep.
It's so good. I was thinking of dropping in a Barone in there as well because it just allows you to go into Barone with the.
Yeah.
With
I
the
think you could probably cut the toes and then put in like a Chaos Rider.
I was thinking doing the Chaos Rider strategy.
Because then you have Garura 6 as well. So.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I did consider the punk stuff, and I don't actually like the punks in Tearlaments. I think they're good. They're consistent-ish.
Yeah.
But when they don't go off, they punish you really hard because drawing.
They make your mills really shitty.
Yeah. If you've milled your note, you're like, oh, shit, eh?
Yep.
So we played 3 Lava Golem, won me games. Oh my
Awesome
god.
game. Awesome cards.
I went up against this lad at the end of the tournament. Last round, summoned Lava Golem over his 2 tiers. He was like, well.
And then chain Havness effect, no?
He chained.
No, you can chain Havness effect.
Yeah. It's so busted. It's so good. I think it clears boards on its own. You can beat over it so easy.
Yep.
I would say Lava Golem is a staple in this kind of build.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think so.
3 Nib Eru.
Okay.
3 Nib because people summon a shit ton of monsters.
That is true. They
and
play into it like crazy.
They certainly do. It's so good. I love the cards so much. I think I'd honestly main it in a hand trap version 100%. I'd say 3 of this, 3 Ghost Mourner, and if you're feeling spicy, 3 Ash.
Oh, 3 Ash, okay.
3 Ash or 3
I'd be an
Crow.
Infirmy guy.
I like him.
Or Crow as well, yeah.
Crow as well. But yeah, that's my deck. That's my
Nice.
profile.
Any shout outs? Anything else you want to say before we close it off?
Yeah, so I never really do shout outs. Shout out to myself for my own channel, BarelyRoss. BarelyRoss on everything.
Yeah.
On Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, everything.
Nice.
Stalk me if you wish. I don't talk about Yu-Gi-Oh at all. But I
love
will
it.
soon.
I love it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on a new series, never mind. I won't spoil it for anyone, but if you're interested in shitty mental health advice, I'm your guy. So shout outs to the Warchest for hosting us today. It was fantastic stuff. Woo! Shout outs to my local, which is in Dublin City, which I won't mention because we're in a different shop. And then shout outs to
Gang Wars.
to David. He's fantastic, super cool guy. So glad he's making these profiles. They're super fun. He's super supportive of the community as well. Someone else posted recently about their new videos and he was super supportive in there.
Oh man, I actually watched it. It was awesome.
It was actually really good, really wholesome as well.
Yeah, his
I think
video
it's
was
down there as well.
class.
It's super good.
I will, yeah.
Other than that, have a great day, dudes, and I'll hopefully see you again in Euros.
Take care, folks.